the intro. Fight the intro.
I had to have my intro right. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it. It's always love.
Ladies and gentlemen, today's our run. This is so special because we have so many different categories, so many different industries we've been covering, and this is our very first when it comes to not just modeling but mentoring in modeling.
Yeah.
And let's specify, but we signed around here. You know what I'm saying? So look, Malika, go ahead and introduce yourself. But let's take a trip. Let's take a story to how you was even introduced to the modeling game, because at this point, your career has garnered you the opportunity to not just keep climbing for yourself, but pulling youngins after you. So let's just talk it through. So where you're from, what you like to do growing up, and all of that, and let's work our way up.
For sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Malika. I am from Montclair, New Jersey. Born in Hoboken. Montclair, Jersey, repping always. It's actually thunderstorming here right now, so there might be some interruptions. It looks crazy outside.
We are here.
Woo. I played basketball for the College of New Jersey. That's my alma mater. And
so your first love is ball.
My first love was ball, yes. Montclair High. We got a state championship my junior year. I was a 2-guard. And when I went to college, it was D3, wasn't nothing too crazy, but the coach and I just did not see eye to eye. I just wasn't a good fit for the team.
Right.
And eventually,
what hindsight looking back, because I'm sure then, your mind ain't all the way developed and all of that. So now that you're grown, can you give us a hindsight moment in that? I like the way the story started already, but let's put a pin on it by going right there in that moment.
So I believe that it had a lot to do with my attitude at the time. I was very
okay.
I think it had some attitude issues that I needed to work on, if I'm being real.
Okay.
Scorpio,
maturity.
So I needed to mature a bit. So I think it was my attitude. And to be honest, I'm going to say it for the record, because listen, we're here in 2020 now. So there's no need to be, I'm sorry, I'm this, I'm that. How you have a state school in New Jersey, some of the best women's basketball is Essex County, New Jersey. Don't get it twisted. And you only have two, we're going to say biracial, because we both were, biracial women on the team. I think there was some issues there. I feel like anytime I spoke out, it was, oh, you have an attitude. And it's like, I actually don't. I just have a question about the screen that I'm setting here for my teammate.
Wow.
And then next thing you know, it's like, I'm like, the attitude. And I'm like, I don't have one, but now I'm about to have
So
one.
do you think, so now this is good, because are we saying that maybe, and we're going to work our way all the way up to now the classy professional that you are. I mean, the way you handle business, salute. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
But would we say that growing up, being young, what would you attribute that to, that there was an attitude? Is it your nationality, your background, your upbringing in the house? What bled onto you or spilled onto you that had like a certain wall up or a defense mechanism up? Or that's what I'm sensing.
I feel like I just wasn't prepared to go to college. And in that way, my mother said, you're going to college. And I said, okay, cool. She's like, where you want to go? I'm like, as close to home as possible, because I'm honestly terrified.
Oh, you didn't want to do the whole, I want to go away.
No, I didn't want to go away. And not to mention, if I would have went to a big time school, class, football game.
Right.
Party.
Football.
It's like, I knew I would have been lost in the sauce. But then, when I went to school and I called my mom on the 3rd day, and I'm like, okay, time out. I feel like, where did you just send me? Because I grew up in Montclair, New Jersey. We had every type of mix, this, that, rich.
It was very diverse. Very diverse.
And then you get to college and you're like, okay, there's so many white people. Okay. And then I'm now part of this group, and it's almost like I feel like the need to choose. Am I going to be rocking with the, Latina women? Am I going to be rocking with the Black sororities and fraternities? Am I rocking with, am I just going to be the outcast, or am I going to be in the white sorority? It was
and would you say, was that like confusion or you inside of your head moment, kind of like was it just in the atmosphere, or did you directly feel that kind of heat or pressure from an individual system, or you know what I mean? Or was it just kind of the obvious?
I mean, it was kind of the obvious. I was like, hold on, something's not right here. I'm not prepared for this, because I thought the world was like this.
Right.
You know, and that's
right.
why the education now is so important in this Black Lives Matter movement, because
Yes.
people aren't educated. If you're in your own little bubble, which I grew up in a very privileged area of Montclair, New Jersey, in a bubble.
Got you.
And then I get out and I'm like, oh, wait, hold on. This is how the rest of the country is? And then you go to other places, you go to Ohio, you're like, yo, I'm in the middle of
Totally different.
What? And I'm right across the bridge from New York. New York has every type of everything. So I was confused. I'm like, where did my mom just send me to? And then I think there was like a kind of the underlying notion of like, what are you going to choose? And then, oh, you're the pretty Black girl, which that's you literally want to just punch someone in the face. Because what does that mean? So I just think I was just like, this is eye-opening experience for me. And I felt it I felt it off campus. I felt it on the basketball team. I felt I was out of place. I felt like, take me home. But my mom was like, no, you're going to get that degree. And I got it.
And you pushed and you got it. And you got it.
Had to get it.
And you got it. Wow. No, I love this because it's those kind of pivotal moments that could either make or break an individual. So you just had it in your blood to never give up and just to dig deep. So now, you playing ball. When and tell me if we're skipping anything in the story. No, when do we get to your love for modeling and just that whole that whole ordeal, how it happened for you? Yeah. Is there anything in between the love for basketball and then the love for modeling?
No, I think subconsciously I always looked at magazines growing up, and I always was like, I just like the aesthetic of things. Like I always loved looking at photos. I never was shy to take one. So subconsciously, I think it was there.
Oh, you wasn't even trying to take one. You just, oh, shoot.
No, so I got, basically, I came to the coach. I said, look, this doesn't seem like it's working. She was like, honestly, it's not. I was like, perfect, because my clothes are right outside the door. All my jerseys right outside the door. I'm ahead of the game.
Right.
And then I went to Hooters to let off some steam. I had a homegirl who was working there. I walked in, the manager was like, you're going to work here. You're going to make a lot of money. And have you ever considered like maybe modeling, or do we have this calendar and competition?
So it was at Hooters that is your first ever the seed being planted about modeling.
That was the true seed.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Hooters one time.
Oh, God. My Hooters fam. I love y'all. Love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. Love Hooters. But I think, in high school, I took a photo for a friend, I remember. And I remember being like, yeah, the photo's all right. And then, like, everyone was like, yo, that photo, you took that. And so that's, there was, like, little bits and pieces that led to the...
It was planted. It was being planted. That's all.
Right. So, Hooters, I started working there. It was a great experience. And that was like college for me. I learned so much there about the world,
right?
Women, men, sexuality, about, it's just so, I've learned so much at Hooters. I felt like that was my college. I went to class and then worked.
Look at that. Worked. Hooters University.
Hooters University. They need to make one, because I learned a lot.
Right.
And everyone was asking me, my senior year came around, they were like, well, what are you going to do now? And I'm like, maybe something in music. I interned at Atlantic Records for a little.
Oh, okay. So you sports, then business, then like music, like you revolutionizing and trying to tap into every. And I see what's going on. So tell us about your time there. Like what was the experience like that?
That was an interesting time. I feel like interning. Shout out to people who are interning, because if you're not getting paid, it is a lot of work and a lot of dedication.
Right.
And to be honest, it'd be the people down here that are doing a lot of the work.
All of the work.
And as it goes up, you're in your suite just sipping on a tea. So
That's
I was a little upset at how much, work I was putting in. Or there was sometimes the way I saw some of my, the colleagues there, they'd get, hey, intern. I heard that, I almost lost my mind. I'm like, did you just call?
They didn't even give them a name.
Didn't give them a name. And so even,
wow.
I have to say, though, shout out to Atlantic Records, because there was one time they were like, hey, we have this shoot for 2 Chainz and B.O.B. for this headband cover.
And they want you in it or something.
You're being nominated right now because we need someone last minute, so go. And I went, and I was like, that's when I knew. That's when I was like, we're going to do this. This is what we're going to do. Everyone at Hooters was telling me, Atlantic Records. That was my senior year. I was going hard. And that's when I was like, this is something that interests me and that has no ceiling. And so there's always room. You know what I'm saying? Because
that's a good perspective to look at, how to look at it. That's dope.
Yeah, there's always a way to grow in modeling. There's always so many lanes. What kind of model are you? What are you going to use with your voice, your platform, the photos you take? Because, you know, a photo's worth 1,000 words. So I was like, this right here is something that I don't feel boxed in. When Mally feels boxed, it's just not good. It's just not good.
So and it is even though your name is Malika, but it's Mally as the nickname.
Yeah, so my family, friends, everyone always.
I love it because automatically we would go, oh, it's Molly, but no, that's not Molly. That Malika, but then it's Mally. Okay, perfect. So
and I call everyone Boo, so Mally Boo.
Mally Boo. Yeah. So now you done got your semi-pro career in sport, athletic wise. Then you got like a music incline moment with Atlantic Records. That's a part of your journey. But then now it's into, but throughout all of this, I feel like there was either that somebody or that whatever to drop into something about, you ever thought about modeling? I feel like that just traveled throughout all of your different experiences. So when was the okay, I'm here, I'm in this space, and like your first biggest thing or that you were presented to the world as, Mally the model?
Well, I think the
like, when did it start? Like, are we there in the story? You know what I mean? Are we or is there a couple more things that done influenced who you are, the woman you are today in the modeling space? Is there anything else we're missing from your childhood, teenage years?
No, I don't feel like it. I just feel like I was always being told, like, you're tall, you're pretty, you should model.
Got it.
And
it just came with the territory of you being you, no matter where you went. You're tall, pretty, so that it's automatically going to be you should model.
Right, that's everyone's assumption. But you could be tall and pretty all you like, but taking a photo, I mean, my mother all the time, she had to take a photo the other day. She's a professor at Rutgers, so I was hooking her up with a photo, and she got so frustrated. I don't like it. I look terrible. I'm like, yeah, it's harder than you think. It's not a lot. It's not just putting a hand on a hip and being like, there is angles. There's all sorts of things, studying your face, studying your poses. And I feel like for me, the moment that I was like, this is really, really it, is when I just got signed to my first agency and I studied. I couldn't sleep at night. Like, I was like on Google how to model. And I hit that point right before Instagram. This was before Instagram was even popular.
Right.
This was Tumblr days. You know what I'm saying? We're taking it back for some of y'all. I'm a 90s baby, but we're taking it back.
So you're taking it to like MySpace and like AOL.
Almost.
And America Online, the buddy list.
But yeah, so,
the buddy list.
That was before you had this mass, like, it's kind of saturated now with models.
Right.
A lot of people want, because they think it's an easy thing to do. They think it's an easy way out. It takes work. And I'm constantly working.
I could tell you in the craftsmanship of it. Like, not just, hey, take this picture, all right, good angle, the sun, all right, boom. You're really into like the decibels of the whatever when it comes to the it's an art. It is an art. It is an art.
It is modeling, is acting without words. And that's how I always put it. Because, a picture is worth 1,000 words. And what are you trying to convey? If you're in a ball gown in a nice town hall situation, you're going to want to be very like, right. But then if you're on your like, tomboy, Aaliyah-ish vibes, you're gonna be on your like.
And I'm glad where you going with it, because so what do you pay homage to when it comes to your versatility? Like, what was it the Black classics growing up movie wise? Was it cartoons? What was it? Like that giving you this versatility of where you could do the Aaliyah, Tommy Hilfiger infamous pose, but then also you could give us the flips, city girls pose, or about the balance, the range. I'm trying to say, right? Range. So, what do you think?
That came from, when I first started modeling, I was looking at these images of, women online, and I was studying, and I was so fixated on being high fashion, size super small. let me do this, let me do that. And then it like dawned upon me eventually, like some of my modeling mentors, shout outs to y'all, like Ryle Watson, shout out to him.
Shout him out. Shout him out.
Shout out Ryle. He would tell me like, look, your body's bomb. Keep your hips. You don't have to change and do all this stuff. Let them accept you for who you are.
Got it.
And if you want to take a photo like this, do that. Do whatever you want to do within.
What feels right to you, what feels natural, you know?
Yeah, and then I figured, why not have, for my clients who, you know, or my agents, have a range of stuff. Have me in an afro wig, have me with curly hair, have me straight hair, have me super tan, have me like, you know,
so that like the almost like the opportunities for you become endless, because any agency, any potential agency, client, whatever, they're gonna be like, yeah, we need a girl with this kind of theme. Oh, well, Mally, you know, she just, well, what about this? Well, she actually covered that too a couple weeks ago. Right. So it's just, you want to make sure that your eggs, that you are planting so many eggs in so many different baskets.
Yes, because that's the point of your portfolio. They want to see, you know, how you take a photo and what aesthetic you can provide and the angles and everything. So I said, you know what, let me do maybe a high fashion shoot, but let me also make sure I have the smiley, cheesy, I can book a Colgate ad, because I'm telling you, Colgate pays and these companies pay. So when you have that range of stuff, it's okay. I paid about like $1,200 at the dentist the other day. Okay, these things right
gotta keep them right.
But I was like, let me just show the range, because at least if my size is going to be a problematic thing, let me try my best to at least have a range of stuff, so they could be like, you know what, her sizes might not be the ideal model size, but look at how she took it. She took this type of photo, she took that, she can go here, she can go there with it.
Yo, what's some of your favorite themes that you've done in the past? Like, what's some of the most memorable ones for you, where you was really like feeling like the Aaliyahs or the whatever? Like, when was that moment where you was like, yeah, I nailed it, and I'm almost like lost in it, because it's that's how much I committed to this role during this shoot, you know, or during this showcase?
So I took a photo, and it was like on a whim, and it's always those photos that you don't put the thought into, because it's
right,
organic. It's a feeling. So, you know, I was doing a shoot, and we were just walking. I'm walking with the photographer, and this photographer's name is Day. Shout out to Day.
Shout out to Day.
My girl Sage, she actually did the hair and makeup. Shout out to you too, Sage. And
shout out to Sage.
Next thing you know, he was like, wait, stop right here, and it was on, you know, one of those New York, you know, people be like doing pull-ups and
on
one of those, like,
on the don't walk signs on the curb and stuff like
right.
that. Yeah.
And I just put my arm up, and just the face, the expression I made, and it was just so, I didn't put thought into it, and I was like, I looked at that photo and I was like, yeah, now this is some growth from my, you know, because the first photos I was taking, my eyelashes were out to here. I'm
sure.
Nicki Minaj pink lipstick was in. I was like, oh, we got and that's when I was like, oh, this is like a model. And I didn't call myself a model for a while, because I was like, I'm not there yet, and I'm not about to, you know, some people you walk around, you're like, what do you do for a living? They're like, oh, I model, and I'm like, okay, so who you with? What have you done? Or like, talk to me. Like,
what does that entail? Let's
relate. And it's like, oh, I did this one thing one time, this one shoe, and I'm like, okay, so you kind of you sneak this in a little bit. Because I taught my cousin 5 + 5. That means I'm a math teacher. Like, no, like, that's not how that works. That's not, put some respect there, please. So, yeah, man, put some respect on the name a little bit. Oh,
so it's not. Yeah, it's definitely not just, you know, walking and just, it's a whole almost like a being. Like, you take on like you said, it's art without words. It's art in motion. Right. It's art. Right. So first run. Let's go back to the first runway, or like the first real big one that had you really feeling like, okay, here goes another level that we're taking it to. Like, talk to us about that.
I think, well, one runway is something that I haven't really, gotta be honest, I haven't really experienced much runway.
Oh, runway, okay.
So runway's not, you know, I've done a couple shows here and there, but nothing super major that I could sit here and like floss and flex on. But I think the real major for me that I was like, damn, like I'm gonna give myself a pat on the back. There was two things. So going from being on sites like Model Mayhem and trying so hard to like, which is a website for anybody can.
It sounds like a network for models, like
anyone can go on there and put their photos, and you know, there's creep photographers on there. There's little jobs here and there.
Wow.
But going from starting there to then getting a contract with Elite, which I never thought in a million years that I could be signed to an agency like that, because I was so in my head about my size.
Right.
Some people like, yo, your size, like, bruh, like, I'm like, but in the model world, the hips, they're like, yeah, you're a little too, but now we're embracing everybody.
You have to. And they should have, everybody should have from the beginning. Right.
So I feel like that was when I was like, yeah, like, wow, like, look at, like, I needed to take a moment, because we don't take a time to really be like, damn, like, look how far I've come.
Yeah.
Because we're so focused on the next, especially with Instagram. I always say you're comparing yourself, and that's the thief of joy.
The thief of joy, right.
Instead of me celebrating, you know, you need to celebrate where you are. So I was like, damn, I came from here to here, and then booking that Deal or No Deal as brief. Sorry, my phone always about to die.
You good? That we good. We here. We chilling.
The Deal or No Deal had me too. Like I was like, because that involved not only, you know, being.
Yeah, tell us about that. Tell us about that. Yeah.
Ooh, that audition process was lengthy. It was.
I'm sure.
You know, I'm in front of all these producers and people, and they're like asking me questions on the spot. Well, how would you fit in with a bunch of women, and what do you contribute to society? And what would you do with your platform and all these things? And I'm like, damn, like these are really thought-provoking questions. It's not about just being pretty and opening a briefcase. The women on that stage and all my Deal or No Deal ladies, shout outs to y'all, because there was some incredible, to be honest, everyone on that stage was incredible. Everyone had something to offer. There was, you know.
There was no egos. Everybody was rocking, no egos.
Everyone on that stage was incredible in their own unique, beautiful way. From their beauty on the outer to inner to, you know, the things they studied in college, the businesses they run. You know, there was moms on that stage. And I don't know how they did it. You got 3 kids and you're on a stage. I don't have any, and I'm over here tired as could be. But you're also tending to your children while also
it's television. The rush. It's the rush of just doing, like just constant doing. So that takes me here. So when do you what do you do on your not busy? Because you're a constant work. You're a constant workaholic, right?
Yeah, I love working.
You're always trying to get your craft to the next level, which is a great trait to have.
Thank you.
When do you take you time, or what does that look like? What is the balance for you? And then we'll go after this. We'll go into you having signed and everything to do with sign. So for now, the balance with you, like how does that look?
The balance for me. So actually, currently right now, I'm down at Asbury Park at my mother's house. They live a couple blocks from the beach.
Shout out to mom. Shout out to mom.
Yeah, shout out to mom. She's actually on her call downstairs on some Zoom call. So like mother, like daughter. But
yep.
Yeah, she, you know, I like to come here and, you know, go paddleboarding on the water. I go to the beach. My brother and I were very, very tight. My girlfriend and I'm really big on my friendships. Right. That gives me the peace, because that's where the laughs come in. And my father's a big jokester, and everything growing up was a laugh. That's how you get through life. You got to enjoy it.
Yeah, of course.
Enjoy yourself.
Yes.
So that's my peace, and that's where I get my relaxation comes from, is just being around good energy, good friends, and just the laughs and the fun times.
The natural feelings, the feelings that just feel so natural, like your second nature type stuff.
Right, and just putting the phone down. Like there's times I'm with my ladies, I'm like, okay, are we here to just be on, you know, telly, or are we gonna be, let's check in with each other, let's see how everyone's doing, let's mentally, you know, how's your boo going, how's work going?
Right.
So that's the time that I get to relax. And the funny thing is, I work hard, but I think I could be working even harder. So always. Well, speaking of working hard, so now we are at Signed. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Signed New York City. I love all this. I love it.
So how this, because I feel like it's more than just your like a business company. It seems like your baby, like the type of vibe that when you put out all the content you do on social media and just everywhere. I feel like it's like literally like your baby, like your brainchild. So tell us that from inception all the way to now and where it's going, and your mentorship with the young ladies of the community and all. Like, just talk it through with Sign, because it's amazing to watch.
Thank you. So it is my baby. I literally feel like I have I don't know how many months old baby, but a something baby.
Well, how old is it? How old is the company?
So I launched it on my birthday, November 14th. So
our birthday, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, if y'all do you don't remember?
Oh my yes, we are.
No, that's give it up for the Scorpios. Give it up for the Scorpios.
Scorpio gang, and you know we're Valentine's baby too.
Right, that's what I always say. It was literally 9 months after. Right, so moms and pops, they Valentine's Day was good in 98, 87.
That was 91 was a nice time for them, I guess.
There you go.
But yeah, so Signed is my baby, and I launched it on my birthday, and everyone was saying to me, you know, when are you going to start a modeling agency? I'm like
your own, right?
I don't want that. We have enough of those. I want my own lane. I want something.
Because I'm sure you've been consulting for a minute. Like, I'm sure your friends and your family been seeing you give so many bomb ideas, so many different, like, your intellectual property has been probably floating around where you just showing love. But now you're probably gotten to the point where no, everything is I am a monetizable person and a thing, right?
So it got to the point where, you know, I like giving back and I like helping people. I'm really big on helping people. I think that's important when you've been given so much help, and I have throughout the entire course of my life. So it was time to, you know, give back. But there's a certain point when I, you know, help this person get signed to an agency, or I'm hooking this model up and that one with a shoot here and there to get paid, or, you know, just free advice all the time. Hey, I want to do what you do. How do you do it?
How do you do it?
Writing mass paragraphs. I'm like, okay, we gotta start getting a little moolah from that, because clearly there's a niche for it. Clearly people don't know how to get started in the industry. Right. They don't have the resources, or the photographers not getting back.
The confident level. Because ain't confidence, when it comes to your world, if the ain't confidence like super factor that has to be, like, tell us about the confidence level when it comes to this.
So in Signed, you know, just a brief overview, I have a studio in Brooklyn. You know, my clients, you're an aspiring model. Brooklyn, shout outs to Brooklyn.
You know what time it is. I had to do it for one time. Biggie.
Yep, Biggie and Pop. Let's go, you know. So, you know, you come to the studio. I have the hair and makeup. We have the photographer. I'm there helping you. I'm there boosting you. Let's go. This is what we're going to do.
Oh, you the coach.
I'm there the whole shoot with you, helping you to pose, helping you with any questions you have, and just guiding you. I'm walking you through, holding your hand. Let's make this work. Look at this. I love this image. This is what you need to keep doing. Now this, you can refrain from doing that. You know what I'm saying? So
how do you make sure that you come off as soft as possible where nobody gets offended? And how do you deal with the thinner skinned people that just might not know that you're not coming from a personal level trying to shit on them or anything, but literally you're trying to give the best advice to further their career? How do you tame that approach? Because you know what I'm saying. Yeah.
So in order to do that, or just in life in general, I'm the big believer in, if you're gonna say something like a critique, you know, you have to also put some positive voodoo on that too. So, you know, you were doing this good. I love that energy. I love this pose. Keep that up. But boo, I'm gonna need you to, you know, let's get rid of that. You don't even need that, girl. Like, you don't even need that.
I like that.
You know, because at the end of the day, we're in a society and in a world that's constantly trying to beat you down. And I keep bringing it to things like Instagram, which, you know, it is so hard daily watching people and their lives and their pictures. You don't know what that person's going through. You don't know how hard they work to get that Benz truck or this and that. You know, this generation's huge on things. We love to boss and we love to flex, you know? So I think it's so important that you have to uplift people. And, you know, my clients, and I'm sure, you know, the ladies who I have worked with will tell you, like, no, like, I felt good at my shoot. Because by the end of the shoot, they might come in a little hesitant. By the end, they are like,
they leave with a different energy, I'm sure.
Yes, they do. And that's also why I have consultations prior, so people can come see for themselves. Come see the studio. Come talk to me about the
Oh, so
questions you
y'all,
have.
so you guys, you allow like almost like a shadow opportunity just to see what you would be getting yourself into if you did come and rock with us. Damn. So you open up the theme park and let them view all the rides and let them pick out what they might want to.
I think it's important to do that before you buy anything. I want to see how it
that's
works.
dope. Not everybody gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? That's dope.
No, and I've realized that more, especially with, you know, I have some consultations during COVID. All my consultations are now on the phone.
Right.
And people are like, wow, like sometimes I see the look on some people's face and they're almost like shocked, like, wow, she actually took the time out of her day to call me, answer all my questions, and make me comfortable. Because guess what? If you're going to buy my service, I want you to be comfortable. I want you to know what you're getting, what you're signing up for, so that there are no gray areas, that you come in confident and you're like, yo, we're going to make this happen. Let's get this contract. Let's get you signed. Let's start these images for your portfolio book and put you in the right direction, because there are people out here that will put you in the wrong direction, have you looking crazy, or have you naked for no reason in these photos. You don't need to be. Speaking of, I kind of look naked right now, but yeah. So let me sit up a little.
Like, what? Look at the example that you're giving.
Right. See,
as
she had the audacity meanwhile she's naked on this live. You know, someone gonna say it. Let me sip my tea.
Sip your tea. No, that's but look, no, because what I'm sensing from the have you ever thought of linking with, and have you ever done this already? Linking with like a nonprofit, like a suicide prevention organization, just stuff like that, because we know in the world of beauty, the world of modeling, the world of, you know, that what kind of confidence it takes. Sometimes there are those young ladies and young men that just don't. Sometimes they, you know, bullying is happening. Any are you guys already doing that? Do you guys have any plans of that, or is that something that's even a thought to maybe team with some community vibes with it?
Well, that's actually great that you mentioned that. So currently, my mother, she's an Irish immigrant, off the boat, accent and all. She loves her.
Oh, you said your grandmother?
No, my mother.
Your mother? So, oh yeah. So what your background? Your mom is
Irish, off the boat, accent and all. My dad's black. So, bam, that's how you get the color right there. Damn. So, she recently, with the Black Lives Matter movement, she's, you know, she has 2 black kids. She's married to a black man, and she goes hard. She's one of those. She's like, white people, they've got to fucking do something.
Right.
So she's actually starting to make these shirts, for people to wear that not only, you know, say Black Lives, but say like eracism and things of that nature. So I'm actually been partnering with my mother.
Racism.
So, you know, on the back of these shirts, it's going to have all the black-owned businesses within the New Jersey area. So it's just bringing awareness to them, to the movement.
That's
and she
hard.
also was really big on getting shirts that, you know, not specifically that only white people can wear, but shirts that white people can wear in support of black people, because that's important too. You know, like the quote that I understand that I will never understand, but with you I stand, things like that. Right. You know, because, you know, black people,
it's showing compassion and showing some type of compassion, because you know, even though, you know, certain folks will never it's just like men will never exactly understand what women go through with birth and just like women will never understand what men go through with, I don't know, this, you know, just whatever men go through, that only men go through. So but for you, so there already is stuff in the world. I love to see that, like pairing with the stuff like that.
And I think especially partnering with my mother in that way and doing this is, you know, my business, I open my doors to any ethnicity and race. There is no, I don't close it. I'm not, if you look at my Instagram page or my website, you know, we have, you know, there's a black chick, there's an Asian chick, there's a white chick, there's all sorts.
So everybody,
adults. So with that, I think my business, I love the fact that it's catered to anybody, and that especially women of color feel comfortable coming to me and allowing me to handle their future in a way. To
their image, their whole persona, their image, their brand, their like what's gonna last like longer than y'all relationship. You know what I mean? Like it's gonna last way further.
So important. It's so important. And not to mention, I'm not about to change anyone. So if you come to me and you come to me with dreads, I'm not about to be like, well, you know, the industry. No, we're gonna push for that. We're gonna make it so that they want those dreads, that they want them on their board. Let's make these photos fire.
That's hard.
It's all about selling. It's all about selling at the end of the
day.
I
love the mantra. I love the mantra. But so being that it's in New York, which is such a, we know, like, I'm from Brooklyn, you're right there in Jersey, so you know the up top, like kind of like the crabs in the barrel mentality, and just so many of going on. How do you see Signed staying in New York or branching out to like the LAs of the world or the Miamis of the world? I know that you yourself, you know, you go back and forth to all these places for all of your personal endeavors, but with the company too, do you see an expansion play with that, or do you see it working in another city?
So it's funny you say that. So it's funny enough, from Miami, I have a lot, and you know, I'm signed in Miami too. I go
Right,
back
right,
and forth
right.
like
That's
a
what I'm
yo-yo
saying.
from Miami.
Right.
I have a lot of DMs. Hey, where is the Signed Miami? And funny enough, I named it
People talking.
Signed NYC, so that in the future I can have a Signed LA, Signed MIA. That's why
Everybody
I did that.
Signed global. Signed international.
That is why I did that. That's why I didn't just name it Signed. I was like, right. I have to differentiate, because in the future I do want, like, you know, like any of these agencies do, except I'm more of a consulting agency. You have a Ford New York, you know, you have a Wilhelmina Chicago, Wilhelmina New York. I wanted to make sure that I could differentiate. Oh, you're part of Signed Miami. Oh, I was with Signed in New York. So
everybody feel a part. It's a brother and sisterhood almost. It's family, you know?
Right. No, I want to do so many things with Signed. And recently, you know, I've been talking about partnering to make it for not only for models, but for, you know, potential people who want to be artists but don't know where to get the studio time.
Oh, so you'll expand the services now too.
Oh, I'm trying to make it, you know, this is a little ahead. This is ahead now. This is a little.
But it's good to talk it out there. Talk it out there.
This is a little treat. But I did want to, you know, for the future, I want it to be for not only models, but to also be for, you know, artists who are looking to, you know, whether it be makeup artists who are trying to get signed, you know, and reps, or, you know, you're a rapper, but you have some fire, you don't know where to start, where to go. Well, we have the engineer.
Got it.
We have the studio. We have.
So you're building a machine. That's what you're building. That could take on almost any profession that, you know, matches your aesthetics and your brand's
you can
aesthetics.
Get signed. Any profession, just like athletics too. These kids in high school who, you know, you're a star athlete, but you need someplace to go after school to train, to also do all your homework, to get the tutoring, and to know how to present yourself when it comes time for, you know, because they're asking these high school students, you know, how do you think about the game? What is your next? And they're like, it was.
I think so.
It was. I mean, I enjoy, so that they're so prepared that these coaches and colleges are like, that kid is ready. He's prepared. He's ahead of the, he's going to be star. He's going to be stellar. He or she. Let me. Right. So I do want it to eventually be this kaboom of a thing where it's not just about models, but it could be. That's why the name Signed. I love the name of my company. I love it because who doesn't want to be signed?
Signed, right. I love it.
Like, no, I'm signed. I'm a signed model. No, I'm signed to you know, this team and that team. Or
it'll continue to help differentiate you, your company, your services from because the model, like we just agreed, like it just gets thrown around, man. Like it's literally sometimes you and your homegirls know somebody that had a video shoot going on, and then they say, oh, y'all pretty, oh, come on inside. And then now, you know, after all of that hype and whatever from the gram and all this instant gratification shit, then when the players peel back, you'll realize that they'll start running around saying, yeah, I'm a model. Yeah, modeling. I'm modeling. Or I'm what?
No, it's just.
It's disrespecting the craft.
It is. I will
the mastery of it. The mastery of it.
I will say this, though, because at first I was a little like, you know, everyone's like, oh, she's just an IG model, right? Let's just say the Betty over here, right? Oh, she's just an IG model. I'm gonna tell you one thing. Shout outs to them IG models, because y'all making that dough. And guess who's profiting and winning during these Corona times? Because all you need is your phone. You have your light set up. You keeping your body fit, or you getting the nip tuck and this and that. And shout out to them ladies, because that's a hard job to do. It is. To be able to take and constantly take those photos and make your Instagram appealing so that they wanna, you know, purchase that product. Purchase that outfit that you're wearing. You're a walking model. You're a walking billboard. You're a walking ad. So, you know, some people, you know, look negatively on the IG model, but nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
When they're looking at it from a different scope, yeah. Like
they making that.
They looking at it from a whole different scope.
The job.
Yeah, they making that bank.
It's a job.
Good job.
And
it is a job.
And if you're doing it well, you know, if you're gonna take it there, you're gonna be IG model or a high fashion model. Just do it with pride and make sure you go hard and go home, because you know it's not, if you're gonna be that IG model, what's the engagement looking like? You know,
right.
Are they
That's
actually
what they
using
looking
that
for.
code? Are people actually caring what you have on?
Right. Are they even interested?
That is hard work. That is a hard job to do.
Man, you heard it first. So, anything else from Sign? Because I love the plans of the expansion of the collaboration with the community, and like all this the great stuff your mom is doing with her voice and her platform. Man, I just love it. So what at the end of the day, what would you want your legacy to be as we wrap up? But what would you want when it's all said and done? What do you want to be known for? What do you want anything you've touched, all your companies, businesses, people indirectly, directly, just your whole being and existence? What would you be wanting to be known for? Legacy. Yeah.
That's heavy.
Yeah.
You take
like when it's
Scorpio King over here.
You know, hey, November 14th. That's specific.
Oh, that's
no, but like
question.
when you because you're young and still expanding, and your net is getting casted even wider and wider, and their expansion time of it is just speed. It's just happening so fast in a good way, yeah. And you're prepared for those moments. So it's almost like, what do you want to be known for when it's all said and done, or your impact, like to the community, to young girls, to your family?
When it's all said and done, I want to try my best, because it can get difficult, to stay true to myself. That's one. Right. That's the number one. Then after that, I would say, I would love to be known in the industry as that, almost like, not to say like the model, like God, but like the model mentor, like the one that you can come to and you know, I have this vision in my head of me, like, you know, with a bunch of girls or women, men, whoever, kids and their moms in an audience, and me on that stage. You know, this is how things should go. This is who we take on.
You're not into that catty, petty model world that there is out there.
No. And
that's dope.
I'm so happy to have the ladies that I've worked with, and you know, to this day, we, you know, scratching each other's backs or looking out for each other. Oh, if you're gonna go to this casting, make sure that you have heels, because they didn't say it on the call.
Dope.
Make sure, you know.
Dope.
So I want to be that. I want to be that helpful person in the industry to guide whoever needs the help. And that's really what I want Sign to be. I want it to be a safe place for all types of people, all types of ages, to come to me and be free to, you know, ask the questions, or, you know, whether it's they're struggling in their career or they're just starting their career. Hey, Mally's been a real one since they went 18. Yeah, shout outs to, you know, see the ladies. I
see the queen. And I just met her through our webinar of a mutual friend.
Fire.
And she amazing. Miss Santana.
Fun, beautiful, and she can cook one hell.
I see. Every IG story, I see it. I see it. Trust me, I'm watching.
Right.
What up, Miss Santana?
Right. So, you know, just trying to make sure, you know, stay true to yourself. And I just want to be the model mentor. I want to be
I love it.
that consulting agency or that platform. I want people to aspire to come to me like, yo, I signed up for Signed. I hope they get back to me. I really want to work with them. I want that itch, because I want my name to be so powerful. I want Signed to be like, no, you went through them, or you're going to get a contract, or your stuff is going to be right. You don't even have to worry. You know, and always keep that level. Always.
I love it. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Miss Malika M. Yo, you got so much. Yo, you destined for the money, for the big money and the continuous money, because there's just so many M's in it. Malika M.
Miller,
Mally.
all of that. Mally Mondays. It's Mally Monday. I better figure out what I'm posting.
Oh, and it's Give it up for Mally Mondays, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't even realize that we on Mally Monday.
Right. I should have, you know, we got to send me this. You gotta send me this. This is my second live, by the way. I don't.
No, this looks like your 200th live as far as your poise, your energy, your vibration. It's all good.
I get a little nervous with the lives. I've always been very shaky with the lives.
Nah,
I don't know why.
It's almost like, to be honest, I've found solace in the almost. It's almost therapeutic because it's like a journal. It's how you make. Trust me, it's not bad. It's not bad at all.
I guess it's just seeing, like, you know, every now and again I look down and I see people popping up,
commenting,
and
right.
And thanks to everyone who's tuned in and, you know, writing such nice things below. But you're just like, I feel like it's such a, when you have a conversation with someone else, it's like, this flies on the wall right now. This flies on the wall. It's a
public FaceTime. That's what I keep telling everybody.
Right.
This is nothing different than FaceTime, and everybody can just pull up a seat.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
That's what thank you for joining. You know, we're gonna support you on this side. Signed NYC is the best, and you got my support over here. I'm gonna continue to shout it from the mountaintop.
I'm sorry, say again.
I'm gonna shout it from the mountaintop. Sign.
You know it. Shout outs to
thanks for joining,
Jersey, everybody. Thank you.
All right, Mally.
Be good.
Peace.
Bye.